Oshinoko. This is definitely not the first time or the last that you'll hear about this manga. Up until recently, I didn't care about it. Whenever I see it got a new chapter update, I'd be like, yeah, at one point in time, I will read this. But now, I finally got down to it. And although the premise is not very exciting, I mean, when you learn that it's sort of idol anime because it has reincarnation elements in it and a revenge plot to back it up. So I thought, plot is going to be a little messy probably, because how are they going to fit all of these? And essentially, since I just found out recently that it's done by Aka Akasaka, the creator of Kaguya-sama, so I thought, you know what, she's a veteran, she probably knows what she's doing. I have read it and you were right, this manga obviously does not have a very fine premise, but the real story behind it is actually very, very attractive. It took me 2 reading sessions for me to just clear this whole manga. That's to tell you how good I think the plot is. Obviously, not everyone can see it like this, and I'm making this video because of those people that I see in the comment section bashing this anime. For what reason exactly? This manga is not about just idols. It's about people that these idols have impacted throughout the whole story. To some, they are like shining stars, maybe even comparable to galaxies, while to some, that addiction turns into a very dark desire, a very dark, twisted fantasy, unlike Kanye's album. But I'm here to talk about the people outside the manga that really don't understand what this manga is about. Honestly, the disproportionate love and hate relationship with this manga in the community is something I did not see coming, because honestly, I really like the manga. I really like the manga. But I'm seeing in the comments like several do not recommend. This was trash, abominable, appalling. But I'm like, what are you reading? Are we reading the same thing? I know some people have low comprehension issues out there. If you have that, please. I mean, I can tell that the author spent hours, days, even years maybe compiling the research for this manga, because this doesn't feel like something someone just thought they should write all of a sudden. It's not about dedication that make people think it's bad, like it's something that is rushed work. No. If you want to see rushed work, basically every assignment that I turned in for physics. But it's not about me. And I'm just going to tackle each of the issues that this bumbling bozos think was a problem throughout the whole manga. Number 1, the art is bad. The art is bad. Do you even know what bad art is? My goodness, some people out here are taking things for granted. I mean, I get the feeling that these people praise manhwa for its realism and art and ability to immerse people, but they're forgetting that in the manga world, the author has to do essentially the same thing with not as many tools at their disposal. They only have 2 colors to work with, black and white. So the fact that people talk about realism and all this stuff, I'm like, bro, are you reading the same story? This is literally about things that happen in the actual real world, things that people do not talk about, things that people do not know. This manga was an enjoyable read, but also educational at the same time. Like, I didn't know I needed to learn this much about idols, but it makes me look at them in a different light, and it's not such a bad thing that you need knowledge. I don't know how you can say the art is trashy. Obviously, the art is not some kind of berserk artwork, but what are you expecting exactly? I know it's an idol anime. It's supposed to be dazzling, yes, and it gives that impression when it wants to, but most of the story is just, regular good art. It's not average, but it definitely beats the average. I don't see why people bringing up the artists and wanting to bash the person because he's also the person who drew Scum's Wish and You Are Dirty, My Queen. The art to me is pretty alright, but people will be talking about, oh no, the background is just so sloppy and I feel like the person didn't do anything about it. Look at the characters, they just feel so dull at times. I mean, yes, sometimes it just feels like it's not supposed to take too much away from what is happening on the screen. Like, when I'm reading the panels, I'm not looking at the person like, oh, they didn't draw this character with 3D shading or cross hatcheting. That's not the whole point. The whole point is what the person is saying. At times when they wish to express that with the art, it goes over the top. What makes me even more dumbfounded is the next thing that these guys always say. The plot is stupid. How are you bashing the plot, my guy? Okay, these are the type of people that will probably come into it thinking, oh, it's a reincarnation manga. Oh my god, he's gonna floss on every hater he had in his previous life, and then he's going to collect all the idol girls and he's going to manage them, and he's going to become the top ranking manager throughout the whole world. Shut up, man. Like, shut up. Are you understanding the premise of this? Obviously, this manga premise is actually very special because you can't really find anything else like it. He's reincarnated into the new world to solve a murder. Okay, actually, you can find something like this. Never mind. But everything else after the prologue is very, very specific. I don't understand how you can say the plot is stupid. The plot is just not generic. Is that your problem? Is it the problem that it's not generic? Is that your issue with it? Come on, man. I expected more from you. I will agree that it's uncomfortable, you know. Not many people want to know about this stuff. But if you're into idol culture, you probably will like this stuff. If you're not, it's still an interesting topic to talk about. Another issue that someone talks about is they leave too many questions unanswered. The whole mystery of the manga is from finding out who the father is and the reaction that Aqua will have to it, Ruby would have to it, someone like Ichigo would have to it. That's what drives the plot further. So when they now start focusing on things in the industry, acting, producing, telling you about what goes into the industry, people just come turned off. Like your brain just switches off because you're not seeing someone dying every 3 panels. Come on, man. Is this what TikTok has done to you? You constantly need jingling boobs on the screen so that you can be able to focus? Come on, man. Plot is honestly great. I would not have to talk this far. As of right now, I'm like 113 chapters in. Just remain few and I'll be caught up. So I know that the plot is good. You guys really need to assess yourselves. When I looked into the profiles of all these guys that were commenting all this stuff on Mal, these people will go and watch Fate Zero and then they'll come here and be wondering why there's no battle royale. No. Can't be expecting this now. There are 2 characters that these guys really love. Either the demonic cringe lords or the maniacal villains. Maybe it's not so much the plot that is a problem, more of the reader that is expecting so much, and then the pacing is inconsistent. Time skips are very jagged. They are used to represent milestones in the manga. Like at 3 years old, he finally learned how to walk. At 15 years old, he finally had the courage to send his crush a text telling her he likes her, but then avoid her for 7 weeks. These things happen. This is not about pacing issues. It's more about what the author is trying to portray with the scene. It's just if the person is telling you mundane things and they not show the same panels, you obviously get bored by that. So it's more about just getting to the meat of it. Maybe I'm just the one who doesn't understand anything. But out of every 3 or so negative comments, I'd see a 10 out of 10, and that person will have so much to say. And I could tell that the person really loved what they just read and really loved the kind of message that Akasaka is trying to say. Maybe it's about the people, maybe it's not about the manga. Thanks for listening.